or to turn off your camera, you will see a couple of buttons at the top of your screen. There's a video camera button and a microphone button. If you click those and make sure that there is a line through both of them, that will mean that they are both turned off. So we do appreciate that you make sure that goes ahead throughout the session, as this meeting will be recorded. So this just means that we can easily stream through all our content and everyone can hear it clearly and see it clearly as well. As I said, any questions or comments at any time, please pop them in the chat. We will make sure that we get to them either during the session or at the end of the session for our Q&A time. All right, in today's session, so just a little bit of a brief update as well. We will be talking about some funding that is coming soon in 2022, and there are some new pieces of information there regarding funding, so that would be great to hear about. We are beginning to develop some resources for English language schools, so you will be able to hear a little bit about what we're looking into and also provide your feedback and your suggestions and your wants and needs as well around that area, so that we can make sure we are making those resources and support materials that support you guys. We want to make sure we're doing the things that you guys would like from us. That is when we will be joined by Liz White from DET, who will talk about the funding for next year as well. We'll then jump into looking at the Victorian Water Safety Certificate and the updates there, as well as a new e-learning module that is coming soon in Term 4 that is connected to the Victorian Water Safety Certificate, but it is a very exciting new online learning experience for students. So we'll talk about that a bit later, as well as some important reminders as well. All right, to start us off, we love using a SlidePoll, as you've probably seen in a couple of our previous workshops. If you're a Swim and Survive partner, you know that we love them, especially at the Swim and Survive Forum. So we're going to have a bit of fun today. We're going to pop up your answers on the screen as we go through some questions. So what we'd like you to do is begin by scanning this QR code. There will be a couple of different QR codes throughout the session. This is the first one that we'll be using for the majority of our session. So if everyone could scan the QR code, I'm sure we know how to do that by now. It's something that we do every single day at the moment. If you're unable to do that, you can also visit www.slido.com and type in the code with the hashtag VWSC. So if everyone can do that now, I'll give you a couple more moments and then we'll get into everything. I can see there, yep, Jackie, big fan of the SlidePoll, and Liz. And also a comment from Amanda there, fantastic informative presentation, Mandy, and I certainly agree. I think many of us certainly do. So a big thank you to Mandy and all of our presenters in the first session. It was an absolutely fantastic session. We took a lot from that and we really appreciate your time. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the English language school support that is coming up this year and ongoing as well. So we're going to get into a bit of the 2022 funding that's coming up very shortly. We'd also like to discuss with you guys some pilot programs that we have coming up for our English language school students. Now, this is going to involve some professional development training for swim teachers. It will be a pilot program, so we're going to offer one program or one professional development course for swim teachers, and then also offer some English language school swimming programs for those students. Now, this is to ensure we can determine the best ways to instruct our English language school students and to make sure that they are getting the quality swimming and water safety education that we want all of our Victorian students to achieve. Now, if you would like to get involved in that, or if you think that your facility would be a fantastic facility to both take on this professional development course as well as teach our group of English language school students in the pilot program, please do not hesitate to get in contact with us. You can contact us at schoolswimming@lsv.com.au, and I'll get Michelle to pop that in the chat as well. It will be at the end of this presentation, but that's our usual email address. Give us a call. We'll have that contact number in there as well. But if you think that that's something that you would love to get involved in, please do get in contact with us. Thank you, Michelle. I can see you've just popped that in the chat there, so that's perfect. Now, we are also, as I said, going to be developing some resources and support materials. Some of the resources that we already have are also going under review so that we can ensure that they are suitable for students at English language schools. We'll be developing some new material as well, but we want to hear from you guys about what you would like to see in those resources and in those support material as well. So have a think about that over the next few slides. And what I would like to do now is introduce Liz White from the Department of Education and Training. She is going to discuss the state budget as well as the funding that is available for schools across the 2021 and 2022 financial year. So Liz, if you'd like to pop your microphone on, and I will let you take it away.
Thanks, Caitlin. As Caitlin mentioned, my name is Liz White. I'm the statewide swimming coordinator for the Department of Education and Training. To start with, can I just say, Michael, the webinar that you held before this, I found utterly insightful and inspirational. Hearing from all of those industry representatives and the stories and the programs that they're running was absolutely fabulous. Mandy Walker, is great to put a face to a name, and I was so impressed by the work that you're doing there at Monash. So congratulations to everyone doing such fabulous work there. Now, to start with, I thought I would give you a very brief overview of the funding that's available for swimming and water safety education. Caitlin, can you move to the next slide? Thank you very much. Now, swimming and water safety education is fairly new to the Victorian curriculum. It was introduced in 2017. Since then, the Victorian government has committed $116 million to swimming and water safety education through two initiatives. The first initiative is the Swimming in Schools initiative, which provides funds directly to schools for the delivery of swimming and water safety programs. So those schools are Victorian government primary schools and specialist schools up until 2021. And from 2022, it will also include English language schools. Funding is also provided directly to Victorian Catholic primary schools. The second initiative that's funded by the Victorian government is the Public Water Safety Initiative. And this is funding that is provided to Lifesaving Victoria for the development of resources and professional development, as well as direct support to the education sector and the aquatic industry for the delivery of best practice swimming and water safety education programs. So the objectives of these two funding streams, the Swimming in Schools initiative and the Public Water Safety initiative, is to support the delivery of high quality and cost effective swimming and water safety programs. So we aim to ensure that both the aquatic industry and the education sector have a very good understanding of the resources and the support that is available to them. We're also aiming to increase the delivery of the Victorian Water Safety Certificate program by schools and the aquatic industry. The Victorian Water Safety Certificate is aligned to the National Swimming and Water Safety Framework, and it comprises the competencies and the knowledge that is anticipated for all students by the end of primary school. So with an increase in the delivery of that program and the increase in the participation and achievement by Victorian students, plus the collection of that data, we can begin to get a really clear picture of the competencies and the additional needs of Victorian students. So the state budget for 2021-22 was handed down in May, and the Victorian government has invested $55.2 million, and that sum is included in the $116 million I quoted before. $52.7 million of those funds will be directed to Swimming in Schools initiative. So that's funds that will be provided directly to Victorian government primary, specialist and English language schools, as well as Victorian Catholic primary schools. $2.5 million of those funds will be directed to the Public Water Safety Initiative so that Lifesaving Victoria can continue to develop resources, professional development and support for the education sector and the aquatic industry. And that's what Caitlin and the team will be talking about later on in this presentation. So this funding will cover 3 years, so it will commence from 2022 January and continue through to December 2024. So I hope that gives you a good insight into the funding that's available through the education sector or from the Victorian Government. I will be here until the end of this presentation, so I'm happy to answer any questions. And Caitlin always puts my contact details up at the end of the presentation. But if you need to duck off early, my email address is school.swimming@education.vic.gov.au and my phone number is 4334 0523. And I'm always happy to answer any questions people may have. Thank you. Back to you, Caitlin.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Liz. And I might even ask if you could type that and pop that in the chat as well, just in case we don't get a chance to show it at the end of the presentation, but that would be fantastic. All right, so we would like to know now, which English language school resources would you like to see developed? So jump on that SlidePoll. Michelle has popped that QR code back into the chat as well, just in case you missed it. And this question should come up on your screen now, hopefully. If not, let me know and I'll have a fiddle with it a bit at the moment. But it should allow us to see some poll results very shortly. So think about the resources that would support you in delivering school swimming programs to English language school students. Perhaps that's in the pool, perhaps that's resources that would assist with you connecting to schools, communicating with schools, perhaps some dry resources as well for any dry programming that you may offer, information sheets, anything at all that you would like to see developed that would assist you in delivering those fantastic swimming and water safety programs. So jump on there. Michelle, I'm not sure, I'm not yet the master of the SlidePolls. I know that you and Jackie have done it a few times, so hopefully this will show up on our presentation. But do let me know if there is something else that I meant to do on my screen, and then we can see if it pops up. Excellent, thank you for letting us know, Mandy. That's good to see that it is now working. Fantastic. And we'll see what answers we have coming up.
Caitlin, I'm not sure if the presentation's working or not, but I can see the results up here, so I can read them out for you.
That would be fantastic, Michelle. I might give you the floor now to let us know some of the comments that we have on our SlidePoll.
So we've only got a couple coming through so far, but the main ones that we're seeing are dry resources, so online activities, and communication tools for teachers.
Fantastic. So keep sending them through, everyone. Let us know. If you suddenly think of some after this presentation as well, do not hesitate to send us an email or give us a call. We can absolutely respond to those things after this. Sometimes it takes a little bit of thinking time to get an idea, but we'll absolutely keep making things that support you guys in the pool and in your programs. Fantastic. All right, we'll jump ahead now to our next part of this presentation. So you may have heard on the grapevine that the Victorian Water Safety Certificate is undergoing a review, and we do have new competencies outlined on the certificate. Now, these competencies obviously followed the review of the National Swimming and Water Safety Framework. So you may have used the Victorian Water Safety Certificate in the past and noticed we had those 4 main competencies outlined on there. We had the water safety knowledge component, the swim component, the rescue component, and the survival sequence as well. There we go. Now, not all of that connected directly to the National Swimming and Water Safety Framework when it was relaunched at the beginning of this year, officially relaunched this year. So we underwent a review process. We made sure we wanted it to connect directly to that National Swimming and Water Safety Framework. So we reviewed the competencies on there, and they now do directly link to, I believe it is milestone 6 on the National Swimming and Water Safety Framework, which is the milestone that is anticipated to be achieved by children aged 12. So that connects directly to what we see and what we hear about the Victorian Water Safety Certificate. It is anticipated that by the time students reach the end of primary school, they achieve this certificate. And typically a student in grade 6 is around the age of 12. That's why we wanted to keep that connection there. So you will notice, and I'll bring them up on the next slide, we do have some new competencies that you will see on this new certificate. And on the previous slide, you did see that new look and feel as well. So that will be the new visual aspect of the certificate, and that will be the new certificate that you see online when it is signed off by the Premier. So that's where it's at the moment. It has undergone the review process. We have sent it off, and it is just waiting for the Premier to sign it away. Obviously, our Victorian Premier is very, very busy at the moment, so we will let you know as soon as we find out that this has been approved, and then we will be able to release lots and lots of different information pieces and some support materials that we have created for this new certificate as well. So you're having a read through the screen there. You can see that a couple of them have remained the same. We still have our water safety knowledge component. We still have our swim component as well, our rescue skills and our survival sequence. However, we have two additional components to this. We have an underwater component and a life-saving component. These link directly to those components outlined in the National Swimming and Water Safety Framework. We have adjusted some of the time as well outlined that you may see, especially in that survival sequence. So the scull, float and tread water for 2 minutes and survival stroke slowly for 3 minutes. It is still the 50-metre swim as well, a continuous swim of 50 metres. The rescue skills you may have noticed have been slightly adjusted. And we have obviously the new ones, the underwater and the life-saving ones there. So keep an eye out. We will be letting you know about when these are released and also when our support material and resources that support this new certificate are released as well. This is just a sample of some of the support material that you will see. We do have a user guide which outlines the competencies on the certificate, and it also outlines some of the terminology that is used in those competencies. So somebody may be wondering, well, what is classified as light clothing? What does that mean? So we have gone out there and we have listed the specific type of clothing that would fit in that criteria. The next one we've got is a frequently asked questions sheet. Now, we've gone through all the questions that we typically get at presentations like this or sent to our emails or during our chats with different facilities and schools, and we've popped them straight into a double pager there. So hopefully any questions that you have or have had in the past are answered in that sheet there for you. We've also outlined the must-sees. So when you are assessing the Victorian Water Safety Certificate, you can now see on this one pager exactly what you should be looking at when you are assessing that to ensure the students are meeting those competencies on the certificate. So stay tuned, we will be releasing these hopefully soon, but as I said, it's just in the hands of the Premier at the moment. Once we get his signature, we can release that to the public and you guys. So based on those three resources that I just showed you then, back onto that SlidePoll, hopefully this question has popped up. Think about what other resources you would like to see released. Would you like some competency videos showing you directly exactly what you should be looking for with those competencies? That might connect a bit more to the must-sees. Any other resources that you think you would like or you would need to help you utilise the Victorian Water Safety Certificate. Obviously, we want to make it as easy as possible and as clear as possible for you guys to use this. It is a very, very important part of the work that we do is getting those Victorian Water Safety Certificate numbers up. That in turn means more funding for our schools, which means more lessons taking place at your pools and more Victorian students are able to complete their swimming and water safety programs. So that is our goal. That's why we really need these numbers to go up. So obviously we want to create resources that are going to help you guys to make sure that these happen, to help you teach your swim teachers for how to assess the Victorian Water Safety Certificate and for how to download or upload your data and to receive those certificates as well. So have a think, pop it in the slide or pop it in the chat, or if you think about them later on, feel free to let us know via email or phone. We will keep moving on, just conscious of time there. And the next bit of exciting news that we have is the release or the launch of our online e-learning module that is connected to the Victorian Water Safety Certificate. So this was developed obviously last year and unfortunately going into this year as well, is so many Victorian students have not been able to complete their typical swimming programs in the water. So, and for schools as well, it is challenging to bring in or to come up with a brand new dry swimming program. We do have lots of resources available to assist with this, but it is challenging for schools, and it's also challenging for swim schools as well to deliver dry programs when we are in the situations that we're in at the moment. So what we have done is we have thought about a way to provide an easily accessible component, an online component, to allow students to complete, it's almost a gamified experience, to learn about water safety and then be assessed on their understanding of water safety as well. So this is due to be launched in term 4 this year, and it is going to be a pilot program. So we want to see at least 2,000 students complete this online program. So have a think about if you've got any schools who may be interested in this, or if you as a swim school would like to rally up some students and share this online program with your community and get more students involved and completing this online program. It's going to be, I've popped this picture on the presentation here because it shows a little bit about what the look and feel is going to be. So think about this poster, as you may have seen before, in a digital format. Kids might be asked to find all the different dangers in this image and they can click on them, drag and drop, all sorts of things. It's going to have lights and sounds and cheers and all sorts of things to make it really engaging. So we want schools signing up, we want students completing this so that we can continue it on into next year. We can get more students completing their water safety component so that when we go into summer this year, students have that background understanding and that solid understanding about how to stay safe on and around water. That is the goal of this. So share it around with all of your community when we launch it. Share it with your family, share it with your students, share it with your schools, and we want to see it out there getting used as well. So something a little bit exciting and fun coming up, and we will let you know when that's ready to go. All right, a few more important reminders. Make sure you do sign up for your Victorian Water Safety Certificate dashboard. It does mean that it's going to become so much easier for you to not only upload new data, as it does have the pre-filled format once you have got your own dashboard in there. It also allows you to monitor your own data for your swim school or your school, and also reprint old certificates, which I know that many swim schools and schools have wanted to reprint certificates in the past, so now you can do it in your own time using your own dashboard. We are also still here to help out with any term 1 or term 2 uploads. I know that it's been a bit of a challenge to get schools in completing programs and hence being assessed for the Victorian Water Safety Certificate, but any that you have come through, even if you didn't assess the Victorian Water Safety Certificate, we can still align it with your assessment programs. So if a student, for example, in the Swim and Survive program, any students who achieve level 7, they are aligned to the Victorian Water Safety Certificate competencies. So we know that they have actually achieved Victorian Water Safety Certificate. So please get in contact with us and we can assist to make sure that there are students in your programs who may have achieved the certificate. We can confirm that for you and we can pop them on the list as well. Our target for 2021 is 18,000 certificates. Yes, we're definitely in some challenging times at the moment, but we still want to get as close to that number as we can. So definitely think about any previous programs that you've had, term 1, term 2, or even in term 3 if you had the chance, and we can certainly help you upload that data for you. There is the email address that you can email for any support, any inquiries, any questions, any ideas, any comments, anything at all, schoolswimming@lsv.com.au. And it looks like we've only got a few minutes left, so we'll just, if anybody has any questions at all in the chat, I'll ask Michelle just to go through a couple, or even Michelle, if you've noticed some comments about any more support material or ideas for the Victorian Water Safety Certificate resources that we'd like to see, I will hand the floor over to you again and you can let us know how it's all going.
Thanks, Caitlin. I've just about to pop in the chat a link that Michael has shared for translated information sheets that already exist. So Michael's popped that in the chat for us. So I'm just resharing that. Hopefully that goes through. The main things for Vic Water Safety Certificate are really exciting because they're things we're already creating. So people are really looking for videos. So that's already in the works. We're working with restrictions on and off to try and book pool space to do those videos. So Caitlin's working on that one. and then online work. So we've got some comments in the chat saying that people are looking forward to those online learning modules as well. The must-sees are already there to go, as Caitlin showed before, so that's coming through as well. People just want to know exactly what things look like in terms of assessment. So if you do have any other comments or ideas on what you're looking for both English language school support resources as well as Vic Water Safety Certificate, still pop them in the chat because I'll be able to add them to the Slido for you.
Perfect. Thanks, Michelle. That's sounding really, really good. Thank you to everyone who has popped in their ideas there. Keep them coming, as Michelle said, and we'll make sure that we're doing everything we can to support you guys so you can continue developing and implementing your programs. So what we will do now is I will pop on to the second last slide here, which is our next Slido survey. So this is a brand new QR code. It's a brand new code as well. This is a Slido survey that you may have seen in our previous AFAR and previous PD sessions as well. It's just for us to collect the information for you guys to ensure that we can continue delivering the PD sessions and the workshops that you want to see. So if you could please jump on, it should only take you a few minutes to complete. There are only a few questions in there. Jump on, complete the survey, and I will get Michelle to pop that QR code into the chat as well. And that code is a new code as well, hashtag LSVPD 2021. You can pop that in there if that QR code isn't working for you. But what I will do now is I will jump across to our last slide, which is just a little reminder about the the next AFAR session, which will be the final AFAR session for 2021. Now, we don't know what's going to be happening in November, but hopefully this will be a blended session again, like we had earlier in the year. So we are hoping to present at Port Melbourne as well as online, like we are now. And that will be on Tuesday, the 9th of November. Also, make sure you listen out for any communications coming from us in regards to those pilot programs that I mentioned throughout the session as well. If you are really enthusiastic and just want more information straight away, send us an email or give us a call and we can pop your name on a list and we can let you know what information we have already and when we're planning on doing things, and we can certainly put your facility name down as one that you would like to participate in our pilot programs there. Finally, there are our contact details. We've got schoolswimming@lsv.com.au. I've memorised that one now, and I'm sure you guys have too, the amount of times that I've read it out today. And we also have our contact number as well that will get you straight to the Education Department, which is 9676 6940. Now, we also do have Liz White's contact details that she mentioned earlier. Michelle has just popped those into the chat. So that is school.swimming@education.vic.gov.au, and we will pop her contact number in the chat as well very shortly. But to finish off, we would like to say a very big thank you to you guys. We know that these are unprecedented times. That is a word that we've heard over and over and over again. I will find a better one for next time. But thank you for your continuous dedication to swimming and water safety education. We're here to support you guys throughout whatever it is you are going through. Give us a call, send us an email. We are more than happy to help anytime with anything that we possibly can. We will continue to develop those resources to help you guys out. Let us know what you want and we will try to make it happen. So I would also like to say another big thank you to Liz White. Thank you very much for joining us today and telling us all about the funding opportunities that are coming up next year and beyond as well. And it is very exciting that we can now offer funding to English language schools. So that is something that is coming up next year, commencing in 2022. So we look forward to seeing that in action next year. Thank you to the education team as well for jumping on the chat as usual. And thank you again to everyone. Stay safe, stay connected, and look after each other as well. And we hope to see you again soon. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.